The team behind Sealand Capital is that I'm the chairman of the board. We have a professional board, so that means that there's 3 other members that have a long experience from different companies. We have Christian Walter, who's the person who's delivering the projects for us, and of course it's the board that is taking decision if we want to invest in them. Christian have the entrepreneur experience. I'm more for the corporate, and therefore we are a good match as I see it. Right now we are raising 45 million Danish for further 20 investments. The timing is good for new investments. A lot of other VCs are going backwards. We are trying to be offensive and go out and raise new capital, because we know that the price on startups, it's a lot lower than 2 years ago, and there's a lot of possibilities. Plus that if you want to buy services when you make a startup, it's also cheaper. So actually your burn rate is a lot lower now than it was before. Most of the investments should be made in companies that need around 2 million. Of course, we also, if the project is really good and we see the potential, we can also go under 2 million, but we can also go up to 5, and we'll probably have maybe one investment that is a little bit above 5, but the area is 2 to 5 million. Normally we're looking for equity between 20 and 50%. We have the idea that you should not take too much of the company from the entrepreneur, because he should not lose the spirit. Of course, we have a lot of, not of critics, but a lot of people think that this is maybe not the best timing, but we see so many possibilities to make some good investments right now. So we are doing it now. As I was saying, other VCs are going backwards maybe, and protecting their investments, we want to make new investments. First of all, of course, we have seen the financial crisis, and we are probably not finished with the financial crisis. But if you look at the stock market, it has been taking first a dip and so going up again. But if you're looking at these startups, they have not been going up again. They are still in maybe the worst crisis ever. And therefore it's important that we provide some capital to these guys. Of course, we are also in it to make some money, no doubt about that. But a lot of companies will go bankrupt, or they will fade away if they don't get capital now.
Our idea is that when we have been investing in 20 companies and we have a proof that we can do as we say we can, then this is actually a concept that can grow in all of Denmark. One of my personal goals is that I would like Mr. and Mrs. Denmark to be investing in startup companies. If they have to invest in startup companies, they have to be a lot more sure and take fewer risks than the professional investor which invests in Sealand Capital on this stage. If we want Mr. and Mrs. Denmark to invest in Sealand Capital, we have to take a lot more of the risk. And how can we do that? We can only do that by producing results. And that takes time. We can't produce the results in the next couple of months. We need to invest in some companies, let them grow, let people know them, let them be a brand in Denmark, and then sell them and get in money. So we have been showing that we can have a turnover, that we can make it happen for the company. We would like to go on the stock exchange, make an IPO, and make it possible for all the, what shall we say, all the normal people in Denmark which are not professionals to invest in new companies. Because if you meet Mr. and Mrs. Denmark, they always think it's a good idea to invest in startup companies. Nobody ever tells us it's a bad idea. And we have a certain way in Denmark about small companies. Everybody knows someone who has started a company, and everybody knows that it's hard. So it's a common opinion that they want to make it easier for the entrepreneurs to start up companies. So if they are able to invest a smaller amount in Sealand Capital, and a lot of people can do that. That will open up and give us the possibility to maybe in the future, and now we are maybe talking 10 years, that we will have a portfolio of maybe 50 or 100 or 200 companies. And then it will be very interesting, because if we have been investing in maybe 100 companies, then we have been giving a lot of companies a chance of really growing up. We'll also make the pipeline for the larger venture companies, which can invest in some of these companies that today maybe never get the chance. The best way to get an investment from Sealand Capital is to contact Vidensbanken and let Vidensbanken start up the procedure of screening your company. Sometimes when an entrepreneur is contacting Vidensbanken, they can be a little bit shocked afterwards, because they are not used to getting all the questions which are not actually positive. Because normally they ask their uncle or one of their colleagues or their girlfriend or people close to them and ask them, is this good? And when you ask people who are close to you if it's good, they are a little bit afraid to make you sorry. So they tell you what you want to hear. But when you talk to professionals and venture companies, they don't tell you what you want to hear. They are critical and they want to ask you questions that can lead them to find the errors in your concept or in your business. The first thing is, of course, the people or the person. Are they able to take this company to the next level? That's one of the most important parts. The next important part is this project a new thing? Is it just a copy of 10 other things? We would really like it to be something new, because if it's new, it has more potential. It's more able to produce jobs and a lot of income. And that's actually the third part. We want to invest in a company which can grow a lot, which have a big potential for an upscale. The difference between Sealand Capital and Vidensbanken. Let me take Vidensbanken to start with. If you are an entrepreneur and you need money, you will contact Vidensbanken. When Vidensbanken have looked through your project and has made an evaluation, two things can happen. Either we say, no thank you, we don't think your project is good enough, or thank you very much, we think your project is very innovative and we would like to find an investor. Then Vidensbanken has a role here. The role is to find investors. My goal is only to find the right investor for the company. A good thing for me is that I know a company where I found money earlier, and that's Sealand Capital. Sealand Capital invests in company. They have just chosen to use Vidensbanken as a supplier of good ideas.